My name is Jamie Young. I'm the executive director of Lily Creek Farms Therapeutic Riding Center, and we are over in Northwest Ohio in Defiance, Ohio. And we have an interesting mix of horses and pigs and dogs and a donkey and just all kinds of stuff that we use as our therapy animals here. So I will, with no further ado, I have an assistant kind of helping me a little bit here. But with no further ado, I am going to figure out how to turn this camera around here. Okay. All right, there we go. Camera is turned around. And here is Miss Lily.
Oh.
And I'm going to try and get her to cooperate with us this morning and maybe do some things. Oh, that is Jack. He is our therapy dog too. He's the new kid. He's just a puppy. So Miss Lily, I'm going to throw her leash down. Miss Lily, can you look at us? Yes. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. How are you this morning? She is good. She is doing what pigs do most, which is pigs love to sleep a lot, but she's doing her second favorite thing, which is rooting around in the grass. She does know a whole one trick, so we'll see if she will do it. I'm sorry for the dog getting in on this too. Miss Lily, can you sit for us? Miss Lily, can you sit? Now both dogs sat. That's Izzy, by the way. Lily, can you sit? Lily, sit. Lily. Of course, she's not going to cooperate. Here we go. There we go. She's thinking about it. She's got to back up a little bit. Keep going. Come on, sit. Lily. She's like, no, I'm on camera. Yes, Lily. Sit. Sit. Sit, Lily. Come on. Sit. She's like, nope, not now. We'll try it again here in a minute.
Are those parents that you have for her?
Well, actually, I have a handful of trail mix.
Oh.
She will eat anything. She is a pig. That joke, eat like a pig. It's not a joke. They are very messy when they eat. They will eat absolutely anything that you want to give them. There are a few things that they can't eat, but the list is very short. Do you want to eat the phone? Look at the pigs now. That's the best part.
And what is that short list of things that they cannot eat?
I would have to look it up, but broccoli is one of them. Cauliflower is another. And most of these items are things that it's not necessarily that they can't eat, but they can't eat in any sort of amount because of the toxins in them. Like apple seeds, things like that. But again, it's in large amounts. Now, here's the thing. Pigs are very smart. Usually they won't eat the things that they're not supposed to eat. So they are pretty good at recognizing what's going to hurt them and what's not. Now, I'm saying that because most pigs are. Now, some pigs will eat things that they're not supposed to eat, same way as horses, but most of the time they know what they are supposed to eat and not eat. So what kind of questions do you guys have? Because, I mean, the only thing I can tell you is that she's a mini potbelly pig. She weighs about 130 pounds. She is approximately 4 years old. And she goes out to like nursing homes and special events. And I think we have some pictures that I gave to Aviva there to share of some of her events that she's done. And I don't know. Otherwise, I guess I can just open it up for questions. What do you guys want to know?
I will share the photos.
Does she live inside with you, or does she does she have like a little hut outside, or?
I can answer that. We have two pigs. One pig does live outside. I don't know what just happened. Oh, okay. You're sharing pictures. Got you. One pig lives outside in the barn. She has a little cover over her stall, so to speak, and she sleeps with straw and sawdust in her bedding and blankets. And then Miss Lily, is actually my pig, so she actually sleeps with me in my bed in my house, just like my dog.
Now, I will say too, I've learned that, despite the things that I think pigs have a reputation for being dirty, they're actually relatively clean. Is that correct?
Actually, they are one of the cleanest domestic animals that we have. People think that they are not clean because they do not sweat. So they roll around in mud when they're outdoor pigs to keep themselves cool. But they are very clean. They do not like dirty areas. They will not sleep in a dirty area. Other than the fact that, like I said, when they eat, they do make a mess. But other than that, they are very clean and they like a lot of cleanliness.
Jamie, can you talk a little bit about your bond with Lily? Like, how does she, like, we know the dogs will stare at us or they'll come when they're called, like these typical ways of bonding. Lily is a very emotional pig. Like, how do you know that she has a bond with you? What does that look like or feel like?
Well, pigs are extremely emotional, actually considered one of the most emotional and smartest domestic animals that there is. They can do some of the same things that chimpanzees can do, and they can outsmart a 4-year-old. You were talking about the emotions and the bondings. There have been studies and reports, take them for what you will, that say that pigs can feel optimism or pessimism, that they can even possibly lie to each other in their herd or group of pigs. So there's been some pretty interesting research done on their emotions. And as far as Miss Lily here goes, in any pig, you will tell right away when they are very young how their social skills and how their emotions kind of come together. One of the things that happens is pigs are prey animals, so they get, they're very, very scared of everyone. And so when they are little, they absolutely are petrified of human contact because, again, they're scared. They think that they're going to get hurt. It's their natural instinct. But once they bond with one person, they are extremely bonded to that person. She will fend off anyone. She will protect me. If she is sitting on the couch with me and someone tries to sit with me, she will tell them to go away in her own little words. She will make noises at them, do what's called a swipe at them, and tell them to stay away if she's in that kind of mood. The pigs are very cuddly. One thing people don't realize is that they literally just want to snuggle. So they will, they will curl up to you, kind of put their nose under your leg, and just curl up right next to you. They have different vocalizations. So a lot of people will say, like, their dog, they can tell what their dog wants. Well, you can tell what your pig wants by the different vocalizations, by the pitch, by the length, by the different tones, the snorts that she makes. She can even actually bark like a dog. Don't ask me to make her do that because that's just a rare occasion. But she will do all of these different things. And again, because of their intelligence, when you ask her different things, does she want to go outside? Does she want to eat? Does she want to go to bed? She will actually usually do those things if she wants to do them. So she lets you know everything that she wants. Again, the more that you're around her, the more that you will understand her different pitches and her noises. But it's a pretty amazing thing. Never did I think that I would be a pig person, 40 years old, but it just kind of happened. And now she is like my child. And you talked about the emotional bond. When the swine flu was going around, I'm a very nice person, but I almost threatened people if they even thought about going to a fair and coming to my house.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Like I said, I never thought that I would have the kind of relationship I do with her, but she literally is like one of my children.
Yeah.
I know she's not very entertaining here. She's just kind of sitting here hanging out. I'm going to take her off the leader and just let her run around. Oh, here's something funny. Oh, here, let me tell you that. Okay, so let's talk about her tail. I'm going to be quiet for a second. And then I'm going to talk.
Oh my goodness.
And then we're going to be quiet, and then we're going to talk.
Wow.
She can hear you guys too. So when you guys talk, she's wagging her tail also.
Hi, Lily.
Another cute thing that happens, let's see if I can get her to do it. So they have like a mohawk. Let's see if I can get her mohawk to rise here. There we go. So did everybody see her little mohawk go up?
Yeah.
And then it goes down. So that was just a nice kind of calm spot that I petted her. I don't have a fork handy. One thing that pigs actually really love, and I'll just kind of show you, and her mohawk should go up again. It's called forking. And some pigs, when you do this, it will actually put them in a trance and they will fall over
Oh my goodness.
because they're so relaxed.
Wow.
It's like a massage for pigs. She doesn't fall over. She just stands there nice and calmly. But yeah, they absolutely love it. And like I said, you see that little mohawk? That's my favorite thing.
Can you talk a little bit about how, like, is she a therapy pig through an organization? Like,
No, she is not.
okay.
We live in a very small little town. So she is just our farm therapeutic pig. So
Gotcha. Okay.
she's not a therapy pig. She's a
Mhm.
therapeutic pig.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes. And what about her interaction and bond with, the dogs and the other animals on the farm?
Well, let me give this disclaimer because pig owners across the world will be mad at me if I don't. Never, ever leave a dog and a pig together unattended, because dogs and pigs are natural enemies. If you think about what hunts pigs in the wild, it would be dogs. So their communication style is so much different as far as the way they talk about things. When like pigs are supposed to back down and dogs won't back down. It's just kind of different, and it can end very badly even for pigs and dogs that have been friends for years. Now, this is Miss Izzy, and she is our therapeutic, there's quotation marks there, farm dog. And she is 10 years old, and her and Lily live together and they get along very well, but there are some days when they don't. Pigs and dogs, again, like I said, are natural enemies. You can get them to be very good friends. But again, you need to watch them because sometimes the communication can just get crossed and they don't understand each other, and that can be a problem. Now, one of the things that pigs have a very good relationship to, one of the animals, is cats. For some reason, cats and pigs here on the farm, our big pig, I actually have pictures somewhere. I should have found that picture. We had 3 kittens laying on top of her sleeping. So the cats and the pigs just have a fantastic time getting along together. I think it's the cuddly factor because, cats like to rub up against you, and pigs love that interaction of, the rubbing up against each other once they trust you, obviously. So I think that's maybe why they like it so much. Did you hear her kind of yell at me a little bit because she was eating and I disturbed her? That was her whine, which she does a lot of. So you guys hear her making like just different noises while I'm talking. It's kind of quiet, so I don't know if you can hear her or not.
Very little.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I'll do. And you're going to have to forgive the horse pile right next to her there. I'm going to have KJ walk behind her and kind of move her. And he's going to do what's called move the pig. Go ahead and walk behind her. KJ's my little assistant. Say hi, KJ. Hi. He's going to walk behind her and she's going to whine. Take her that way. So all he's doing is just kind of putting a little bit of pressure on behind her and asking her to move. Okay, that's good. So what that did, she's just kind of telling him, okay, I was kind of chilling by myself and now you're moving me. I don't really want to move and you're putting pressure on me to move, but all right, fine, I'll do it. So that was her conversation she just had. And now we're on the move. Now we're halfway across the pond. Like 30 quarters. So what other questions do you guys have about pigs?
When you take her to like events where she is used as like a therapeutic animal, how does she compare to like your dog? Like what kind of reaction does she get?
Definitely a lot different of a reaction because, people are kind of used to seeing the dogs at the event. But the pig is something that, people aren't used to seeing. So she gets a good reaction, but people are actually scared of her more. So especially when she does start whining at them, I'm trying to get her not to go into the woods because I don't want to chase her into the woods. So now she's mad at me. Come on, sweetheart. Let's go this way. So But yeah, people are actually sometimes scared of her, so it takes me a little more time to, especially the little kids, to get them adjusted to her and show them how sweet she can be. And usually that's done with food, because she absolutely, of course, loves to eat. So Cheerios and trail mix and whatever cereal you have. So all kinds of stuff.
Other questions?
When she's like doing events, does she like, is she just there to kind of like pet, or does she like do anything, or is she kind of just like sit there?
She does what you're looking at right now. She just kind of sits there. Now it depends. One of the event pictures that I think she posted earlier, we did a Kiss the Pig event. So I can maybe, if I can get my assistant, but I think he went away. I was going to say, I think he's back over at the house. I can try to show you here. Miss Lily, can you do kisses? Can you do kisses? Mwah. Thank you. So she will do kisses. And we do a Kiss the Pig event. Other than that, she's usually just there to pet, because most people don't realize, and I wish you guys could pet her, but pigs are not that soft. That mohawk, I don't know if you can kind of see me doing that. That mohawk is actually kind of prickly. And so people, they feel a lot different than what you think they do. So it's nice that people get to actually feel her and feel what she, the different feeling that she has. And yeah, so I'm sorry, I just kind of am talking and but
No, you're perfect.
Yeah, so that's kind of what she does. And she just hangs out in the pen. And a lot of times if no one is paying attention to her, she will go roll up in a blanket and sleep. And they literally do roll up. They will wrap themselves in a blanket.
Oh. Wow.
Any other questions?
Do you think that Lily likes to go to the events?
She does not like getting in the car. That has been a struggle for us. We do have a ramp to get her in the car. She really likes being at home. To be quite blatantly honest with you, if I had to choose a pig to do this, it might not be her. She is more of a one-on-one person, but she will do the events. She does like all the treats and food, but she will tell you when she's done. She will kind of start shying away from people and go in the back corner when she's had enough, which is kind of nice, because usually we know what that time frame is, so we can plan events around it. And when she's done, she just wants to come home and go to sleep. So we do the best we can to accommodate that. But again, they are emotional, so they have good days and bad days, just like we do. But like I said, she does enjoy being around the kids, and she loves the treats. So yeah, I think she enjoys it.
Do pigs need to be like exercised like dogs do? Like, do they need to go on walks and things like that?
Yes. It depends on who you talk to on this. I'm going to tell you that I don't actually take her on a walk, because we have a farm. So I open the door and she goes outside and she does her own walking. In the winter time, she goes into the barn and kind of walks around while she can't go out, outside in the snow. She will go out in the snow, but not if it's super cold. She'll walk outside, go to the bathroom, and turn around and come back in. So what pigs do need to do is they do need to be entertained. And what I mean by that is Miss Lily is very good. I was very blessed with her, but there are some pigs that can be very destructive, because again, they are very smart. So if they do not have things to keep them entertained, like a lot of people use interactive dog toys, a lot of people will use like ball pits for them to root around in, or little rooting rooks. So they have something to do if you're not with them.
Jamie, I think you're cutting out a little bit.
Okay, probably because she's taken off away from my Wi-Fi. Hold on.
Yes.
We're going to the woods, so we'll come back this way. Turn her around. So anyways, so long story short is now she's not happy. But
long story short is, yes, they need to be entertained socially and mentally more than they do physically. If they do get overweight, though, obviously you would need to exercise them some more, and it's very easy for them to become overweight because, again, pigs will eat anything, and they will constantly tell you they're hungry, even though they're not. So that's kind of how that works.
Thank you.
So is she pretty much then house trained? Like,
Oh, yes, she was house trained within like 6 weeks.
wow.
So some pigs will ring a bell. She will actually just go to the door, and she's actually going to the bathroom right now, so I'll change that view. But,
Give us some privacy.
yeah. So she will go to the door, and again, I can just tell by the pitch in her voice that she wants to go outside. And then I will actually let her on the corner. She will come back to the door, and she will bite, or she will push on the door, which I can hear, and she'll come back in.
Wow.
Any last questions?
Well, I was going to say, since you said you didn't realize you were really a pig person, was it mostly cats and dogs, or, now with the writing and everything, are you a horse person too?
I was always a dog person, and then I became a dog and horse person, and now I'm definitely a pig person. I will have pigs the rest of my life without them, and horses, of course, and dogs. Those are my three, but we do have cats, don't get me wrong. They're just not my favorite. They're just, number 4. So, but I would say pig is my number 1 now. It always was dogs, but pigs are my number 1.
Okay.
You guys are getting a whole scenic view of my backyard here, by the way.
You have beautiful grass.
Oh, thanks.
Very green. This is probably a good day for it. This would have been a perfect day to be outside with the class, but
Yeah, if she was inside, all you would see her doing, this is not much more entertaining, but she would be laying on the couch sleeping. So I figured I needed to get her outside so she would at least be doing something.
Thank you.
do your friends and family get your pig bond?
My family does. My friends probably think that it's a little bit strange because, again, when you tell them that you sleep with a pig, people's eyes usually get kind of big. But again, when you explain to them that they are cleaner than dogs most of the time, probably the biggest problem with a pig, and I don't know if you guys can see this in the video, but their skin is very dry and like she is flaking. But other than that, they, like I said, they're very clean. So it's no different than having your dog sleep with you.
Mm-hmm. And does she shed at certain times of the year?
Oh, yes, they do. That is one thing I can talk about. They do what's called blowing out. And it's very interesting because they do not shed any other time of the year, but once or twice a year, they will lose every hair on their body. Every single one. They look really funny. And it starts out in patches, so they just have little bald spots everywhere. And then eventually they lose every hair on them and it grows back very short. So it's kind of a process and it takes a little bit. And here's the thing with them blowing out. When they do blow out, a lot of times you want to help them with that process because if anybody has ever had a bristle brush that's made out of pig hairs or anything, they stick in everything. So they do not just vacuum up with the sweeper. You have to physically pull them out with your hand because they thread themselves into everything.
Wow.
So yeah. So that's pretty interesting back there. She is not allowed to visit my mother's house when she is blowing out. That's a rule now because of the cleanup. So, but like I said, you can actually help them and they actually appreciate it because they get really super itchy and dry when they do this blowout. So you can help them by actually plucking the hairs out. And you can tell, you just run your hands and kind of tug a little bit and the ones that are ready will come out and the ones that are not stay in.
It's interesting. I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Any other class questions?
Do pigs like to be with other pigs? Like, are they more social with other pigs or are they more solitary?
Again, I think that depends on the pig, because we talked about how they're, as smart as a 3 or 4-year-old, and they each have different personalities. I will tell you that when you first put pigs together, I don't know how much everybody here knows about horses, but it's kind of the same thing. They have a hierarchy, and they will fight badly when you first put them together. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to watch, but then they can become best friends. But it's a very hard thing to go through when you have 2 pigs. Now, my outdoor pig and my indoor pig do not socialize a lot at all. So, hi, Izzy. So, but anyways, they do not socialize much at all. They just kind of see each other in passing, and that's it. They have not chosen to be best friends, and I have not pushed that at all. So I just kind of let them be. Again, they like the cats, but I think they like the human interaction better than the pig interaction because it's not a competition.
Makes sense.
Do you think that there's a part of that too is one's indoors, one's outdoors, and one's jealous of the other? Or is it just that's how you think they're both content in both their environments?
I'll be honest with you, our other pig, we had her first. She was donated to the farm, and I knew literally zero about pigs when we first got her. So she stayed outside, and then when I got the new pig, she was the size of about a 2-liter bottle. Okay, and it was January, and I could not leave her in the barn because she would get in our horse stalls, because our stalls have 3 planks, 3 boards. It's a split rail fence, so I couldn't leave her out there. So she ended up in the house, and the barn pig will sometimes try to get into the house. And she never tried to do that until I got the indoor pig. So I think there was a little bit of jealousy there, but we do try to give the barn pig as much attention as we can, because when students come out, our barn pig is actually a free range pig. She can go anywhere she wants on the property. So a lot of our therapy students will, some of them enjoy greasing the pig, which sounds hilarious, but basically at the end of their lessons, if they have time and their parents are here and their parents want to let them, we will allow them to get some baby oil and baby oil the pig, because again, their skin is so dry, they can use that all the time. So she gets a lot of attention out in the barn too.
That's fantastic.
And I can't believe it, and nobody asked me this, but I'm going to talk about this for just a second, because again, as a mini pig owner, I want to give a little education here. Nobody's asked me about like micro, mini, teacup, anything like that. So I want to give a little educational fact here for a second. Realistically, there are 2 sizes of pigs, full-size pigs and a mini pig. There is no such thing as a teacup pig or anything like that. And you want to be very careful if anybody thinks, oh, I talked to this lady and she's like, with a pig, I'm going to go get a pig. Breeders are very unscrupulous. They will sell you a pig and tell you that your pig will be 50 or 60 pounds, and they will tell you what to feed your pig. And unfortunately, this happens a lot. But what they tell you to feed your pig is a very minimal amount, and it is a malnourishing amount of food. So what happens is the pigs don't grow like they should. And then you do end up with a smaller pig, but it's not a very kind way to end up with a smaller pig. And unfortunately, people don't know any better, so they don't realize that they're malnourishing their pig. The other thing that happens is they tell you that your pig will be 50 or 60 pounds. Your pig ends up at 400 pounds, and then they end up at the rescue centers. So, please be aware, if you ever hear anybody talking about buying a pig or wanting to get a pig, please tell them to do their research and, check who they're buying their pigs from. And even if you see the pig parents, Miss Lily is actually a little bit bigger than both her mom and her dad. So that is no real bearing on how big the pigs will be. It's kind of a coin toss when you breed pigs, and I think that the definition, and you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the definition of a mini pig is anything under 300 pounds. So if you think that she's 150, and I don't know if you saw all my dogs walk by her, she is the same size as my large breed dogs. So You know, it's not something that you can go into and think you're going to end up with this teeny tiny little baby, because they are adorable when they are little. I'm telling you. I mean, you can hold them in your hand. They squeal a lot, but you can hold them in their hand, and they're so cute, but they grow very quickly. And they actually grow for up to 5 years. So technically, she could still get a little bit bigger for the next year.
Wow.
Thank
No,
you.
I'm so glad that you said that. We had heard from our other pig person too about the sizes, and there's really no such thing as a micro. I didn't realize the whole malnutrition part of it, though. That's
Yes.
very cruel.
Yeah, because people who don't know anything about animals, when you go to your breeder and they hand you your pig and then they give you a sheet that says feed your pig this, how are you going to know any better? You know, you're not. So yeah, so it's really unfortunate, and there can be some really horrible things happen. So, and as much as people try to educate, there's still a lot of them out there, because if they tell you that your pig's only going to get 60 pounds, then they believe they can charge you $2,000 for your pig, you know, or $5,000 for your pig, or something ridiculous. So unfortunately, hopefully that's something that, you know, as more people advocate for them, that we can get fixed, because so many of them end up in the shelters for that reason.
Okay. What about vet care? You know, does she need vaccinations just like dogs do, cats? You know, I don't know.
Again, it depends on where you live, what you are doing with your pig. The only thing we give her anything for is we give her Ivermectin. Is it Ivermectin? I'm trying to think, because I'll probably get my horse medicines confused. But anyways, and it is for mites and things like that. So that is the only thing that we give her, and we give that to her orally. As far as vet care goes, again, this is a public service announcement. Get your pig fixed. Absolutely. That is the actual second reason why they end up in the shelters, because pigs are very, very, very temperamental when they go through their cycles, boys or girls. Boys can get very mean, and they have tusk. If you have a boy, and actually Lily just had to have her tusk trimmed, even though she's a girl, they still have tusk, and hers had kind of grown more than normal for a girl. And because of what we do, we had them trimmed down a little bit, but that is actually done by a farrier, not by a vet. The vet can do it though. And we do have to have hoof care, again, done by the farrier, where we keep her hooves nice and short. And as far as veterinary care goes, though, there really isn't a lot that needs to be done with them, especially if you keep them well fed and healthy. Pigs are pretty hardy, so it's not like on an actual hog farm, you know, which is kind of a different breed. These guys are pretty easy to care for veterinary wise. I will say this, again, you do need to get them fixed, but again, do your education on that, because pigs have big problems with anesthesia. So if your pig ever has to have anything done, please double check with your veterinarian about what kind of anesthesias they use and how familiar they are with pigs, because it's not something, you know, every vet deals with all the time. And it's very, very, very dangerous to put pigs under. So.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Does anybody have any last questions? Thank you. You gave us an abundance of education. And I know it's not the same thing as getting to give your own Cheerios and trail mix and pet and see for yourself. I hope this was something. And I don't know, I love meeting with Lily, so thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jamie.